Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. Hope Valley is stirring once again. As the late 1920s dawn on the quiet frontier town of Hope Valley, the familiar streets and faces we've grown to love are poised for change, sometimes subtle, sometimes seismic, and all of it is setting the stage for a new chapter in the hearts and lives of its residents. At the center, Elizabeth Thornton and Nathan Grant stand shoulder to shoulder. Yet, like all couples who've traveled one rough road together, the promise of tomorrow brings more than just comfort. It brings expectation, uncertainty, and a longing for more than what used to be. The word on set is that production for season 13 has officially wrapped. What once was an idea sketched on paper has become tangible, with final scenes in the can and the cast sharing tender and playful farewells. One post shared by Erin, Krakow, who plays Elizabeth, showed her in full costume and setting, the caption reading something playful about being pooped, yet proud. The dozen seasons worth of emotional investment showing in that simple line. Indeed, the wrap day photographs reveal something richer. Mutual respect, quiet sense of achievement, and the underlying knowledge that Hope Valley's story is still far from over. Yet while cameras may be down, the story behind the scenes is just beginning. What caught many fans off guard is that despite the completion of filming, the series will not return with new episodes in 2025. Instead, the broadcast window has shifted, positioning the new season to air in 2026. For longtime Hardys, this delay is bittersweet. On one hand, anticipation builds. On the other, the wait stretches the heart's longing for Hope Valley's next chapter. The network has been clear. The renewal for season 13 is confirmed, but the premiere lies beyond the coming months. This gap in airtime has allowed the creative team behind WCTH to stretch and deepen the story world. Among the whispers, new character arcs, the return of beloved faces, and layered romantic threads that promise both comfort and tension. One of the most exciting pieces of news, the return of Brooke Shields, reprising her role as Charlotte Thornton, a turn that immediately sent fans buzzing. Her character, once a matriarch of sorts, now returns with a new complexity, hinting at secrets, evolution, perhaps even redemption. This isn't just a cameo. It suggests that Hope Valley is ready to look outward, to dig into the histories of its residents, and to pull in new emotional weight. Meanwhile, Elizabeth and Nathan's journey remains a gravitational center. As their lives have intertwined, raising little Jack, navigating parenthood, the ebb and flow of community life, the showrunners seem intent on exploring not just the romance between them, but the after-romance. The daily moments where love must adapt, survive, and renew. The delayed airing might suggest that their story, once steady, is about to be challenged. New pressures, new roles, and perhaps a choice that could change not just them, but the fabric of Hope Valley itself, in production terms. The set photos and behind-the-scenes glimpses reveal a richer visual palette. The spires of the church amid golden fields, night scenes lit by lanterns, the cafe where the townsfolk gather, all look slightly more expansive, more cinematic than before. Layouts hint at a story that will reach beyond Hope Valley's immediate borders, perhaps a neighboring town, a journey, or a crisis that forces the community to stretch. For a show rooted in small-town charm, its willingness to scale up the world is exciting. Another thread gaining traction, the children of Hope Valley. Allie, Edie, Oliver, Angela, their arcs are shifting from supporting roles to something more central. The word is that season 13 will lean into a teen adult ensemble angle, exploring growing independence, identity, and the tension of tradition versus change, while Elizabeth and Nathan remain anchors. The next generation may well be the new winds blowing into the valley. This layered storytelling approach signals that WCTH is set to broaden its emotional reach, embracing not just the core family and community drama, but the generational echo of those stories on the technical front. Sources indicate the writers' room spent extra time refining the scripts for season 13, taking advantage of the longer lead time to layer more. character arcs, and interweave storylines that will pay off over multiple episodes. One comment from cast: "We feel like we really went deeper this year." What that suggests is less of the town returns to normal narrative and more of a leap, either a major event, a turning point, or a dramatic arc designed to challenge every major player in Hope Valley. Expect heartfelt moments, but also risk and tension. For the fan community, the timing of these announcements is as much about building excitement as it is about managing expectation. With a return slated for 2026, this space now gives Hardys time to reflect on what they've seen and what they hope to see. Will Elizabeth and Nathan finally choose a renewed role beyond just the teacher and the Mountie? Will Hope Valley face an external threat, economic, environmental, or social, that changes its cozy rhythms? Will older characters like Charlotte Thornton, Rosemary, Bill, and Lee find new purpose? The storytelling possibilities feel broader than ever. One particularly intriguing hint while filming was completed. Set photos suggest at least one sequence shot on the edge of Hope Valley, perhaps at the railway line, or the forest near the town, scenes unusual for the previous seasons. Perhaps that signals an incursion from beyond the town boundary, or a journey away and back, forcing familiar faces to respond rather than just react. In this way, Season 13 seems to be stepping into next stage territory, preserving the hopeful warmth while embracing higher stakes. Romance as a theme remains central. But rather than simply promising will they, won't they, the next phase appears to be what comes after the yes. For Elizabeth and Nathan, who have achieved much together, the question now may be what they become when the foundation changes. Parenthood, community leadership, personal identity. The show is primed to explore the nuance of love that isn't new, but matured. Fans may see shifts. Elizabeth in a new teaching role or community leadership position. Nathan accepting a responsibility beyond being the local Mountie. Perhaps even a significant proposal or symbolic ceremony that marks growth rather than beginning. In the backdrop of all this, the town of Hope Valley itself appears as more than a setting. It becomes a character. The interactions of old friends, the gathering at the cafe, the schoolhouse, the saloon. These familiar landmarks will take on new meaning, with the expanded world hinted at. They might also represent changing times. A new business moving in, a resource challenge, a generation passing the torch. Audiences may see the town reimagined, not lost, but evolving. For your YouTube narration, you might imagine walking the camera through the streets of Hope Valley, lingering at the schoolhouse where Elizabeth teaches, then cutting to the Mountie post where Nathan stands guard, symbolizing stability, before pulling back to the broader horizon, the fields, the twilight where the future beckons. Then pivot to the return of Charlotte Thornton, to the next generation of children, to the unseen events beyond town. Let the viewer feel the familiarity and the fresh energy simultaneously. In terms of timing and strategy, since the premiere is not until 2026, Hardys now have a quiet period to build anticipation, revisit past seasons, and foster community conversation about what they'd like to see. That gives you a great window to create content that bridges the past, the present, and the future. Use this update as the foundation for a What to Expect segment, followed by deeper dives, cast returns, character arcs, behind the scenes across subsequent videos. Finally, the spirit of WCTH, hope, resilience, friendship, romance remains intact. But what's new is ambition, bigger story arcs, deeper emotional stakes, and a sense that Hope Valley is ready to show us not just love in small moments, but love in big decisions. For fans who've grown with the show since its earlier seasons, that promise holds special weight. For new viewers, it's an invitation. Come early, invest in the characters, and be ready for a journey that honors the roots while stretching toward something new.